Good morning. This should be the Percussion September 7th video. Okay, Percussion September 7th. It's nice to see everybody. I hope everybody had a good Labor Day. The goal for this video is actually to be the one video for the whole week. If I'm able to do it like that, just make it one video for the whole week, because this whole entire week is just review of what we learned last week with the ties, syncopation, and dotted quarter notes. Okay, so I'm going to really fast track everything this time and not really go over every line that we have, because I want some of the stuff you to do for yourself. So I'm going to kind of fast track a few things and not do every line this time. Might do like one or two per little thing, and then everything else is for you to review, okay? Now, if you notice in your folders when I gave this stuff out, when you got your folders for this time, there was a keep side and a bring back side, all right? I have to have the stuff back that's on the bring back side to give you attendance credit, okay? That is the only portion that I need back, okay? Now, all the charts and everything you can actually keep, okay? I want you to keep them to review and everything, but you have to at least, okay, to get attendance for the class, you have to at least do the note naming sheets, okay? That's all I'm requiring for at least getting the attendance of the class. Everything else is whatever you want, really truly whatever you want to do. But I would advise doing the extra stuff that I've sent, because like I told you at the beginning, everything we do this year through this virtual, okay, you will be tested on when you come back up in the band. And if you can do most of it, then we'll allow you to go ahead and be in the high school band. But if not, then I'm going to put you right back down to right back in 7th grade percussion, okay? So at this time, like I said, I'm going to try to fast track this, maybe make this one or two videos for this whole entire week if I'm able to, okay? So if you look at the September 8th, okay, I put you another treble clef sheet in there, okay, for you to fill out, just in case you brought yours back to me. You can fill it out. Hopefully by now you can fill it out by yourself. If not, go back and look at the other videos, okay? And if you notice on the September 8th, okay, make sure you do the bell ringer and the note naming sheet on the back, okay? Make sure, like I said, do all the note naming stuff. That's the stuff I require to be returned back into me as a attendance grade, okay? You got to do those. All right. So first off, I just want to go ahead and get out chart 8, okay? Get out chart 8. This is the chart about ties, and we're gonna real quick go over ties again. And try not to spend too much time on any one thing. All right, so if you're with me, okay, I'm on chart 8. I'm on the second line, okay. All right, I'm on chart 8 and I'm on the second line, okay. I'm not going to deal with the first line, because the first line doesn't really tell you much about what a tie is, okay, or the semblance, okay. So a tie is when if you remember, a tie is when they put two notes together to add the value to one note, okay? If you look at the second and third measure of that second line, these two are theoretically they will sound the same, but they look different, okay? They sound the same, but they look different. You look, first measure we got 4 quarter notes, and the second measure we got half note, quarter. Okay, now theoretically these are going to sound the same, because if you remember, a tie, all we're going to do on a tie is we're going to attach these two notes together as if it was just one complete note. Okay, so we got a quarter note tied to a quarter note. Well, one quarter note gets one beat, the second quarter note gets one beat. Add it together, you get 2 beats. Okay, so theoretically we're going to hold these two notes out for 2 beats, and then go 3/4, just like right here. Half note, we held the half note out for 2 beats, and then 2 quarter notes. So if we were to count this, okay, we get that a big 1 for that first one, and then a little 2, okay. That would get a little 2, just because on the little 2 we wouldn't replay beat 2. It'd be held out as like this, okay, and then a big 3 and a big 4. Now notice, this second measure looks exactly the same. Big 1, little 2, big 3, big 4, big 4. Okay, so these would sound the same. Okay, if I was to count these out, this is what this would sound like. All right, 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, notice how they sound the same. Look, this time I'm gonna do it without counting. Okay, or yeah, I'm gonna do it without counting. All right, 1, 2, ready, and. All right, notice. Oops, my pen dropped. All right, so like I said, notice that they sound exactly the same. Okay, doesn't matter, and they did it like this. Okay, they wrote like when they wrote it like this in that chart, they wrote it like this so you can see the similarities between these. Okay, they're going to sound exactly the same, even though they're written different. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the fourth line. Okay, look at the fourth line. Okay, that fourth line of chart number 8. Okay, do that one real quick and see what you get. Okay. All right, so hopefully by now you're finished with it. Okay. Now this one's a little not. I wouldn't say this one's too hard. Okay. I think the only hardest thing about this one is maybe not knowing exactly for sure where to put your numbers. Okay. So these overall, each symbol will still get its numbers like it's supposed to. Okay. Now some things are going to change between some of them, but not all of them. Okay. So look. Start right here. We got a half note tied to a quarter note. All right. So half note gets 2 beat, quarter note gets 1. So it tells me that we're going to hold this note out. Theoretically, we're going to hold this note out right here for 3 counts. So it'll get a big 1. And then you're actually going to put the little 2 with the half note, because usually that's where we put the little 2, right? But then also we're going to go over beside, underneath that quarter note, and put a little 3. All right, and then a big 4. So this measure would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, even though we have half, quarter, quarter, you wouldn't re-tap for that beat 3 because it's tied to beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, look at the next measure. All right, we got a half note and 2 half notes. Well, 2 half notes, 2 plus 2 is 4. So that means we'd hold this note out for 4 beats, which is theoretically this is just going to be a whole note. All right, this is just going to be a whole note, except this time we're going to count like this: big 1, little 2, and then over here we got to have the little 3 and little 4 connected to that one. All right, now like this one right here. Okay, notice this is not a big 3 and a little 4. This is a little 3 and a little 4 because we're just holding the note out. All right, then we go to the next measure. You should have a big 1, a big 2, a little 3, and a big 4. Okay, beat 2 and 3 will be held out together to be into one note, and then we finish with it with a half note. So big 1, little 2, big 3, little 4. Okay. So if I was to clap and count this all the way out, all right, this is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. This right here is saying like this is a half note. This right here is saying like this is a half note. Okay. And like I said right here, that is saying like it is a whole note. Now right here, this word that got the half note and the quarter note tied together, this is like saying it's a dotted half note, which gets 3 beats. All right. Understanding? I hope you understand it. Okay, I want to do one more, okay, on this one. Okay, I want to go into the 8th notes, okay? Go ahead and do line number... Go ahead and do line number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do line number 7 where it starts with the measure 25. Okay. Do line number 20 or number 7 where it starts on 25. All right. Hopefully you've done that one. Okay. Sorry about that. That's poorly written. Okay. So I want to concentrate first on this measure and the first and the third measure. Okay. Because those are the measures that don't have ties. Okay. First measure, easy. We got quarter note on 1, 8th notes on beat 2, quarter note, okay? So it should have been a big 1, a big 2, and a big 3 and a 4, okay? So we got 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay, and the third measure over here, we got 3/4 notes followed by 8th notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and. All right. Now we look at this second and fourth measure. Okay, second and fourth measure. All right, this first one. All right, we got easy peasy, right? 1. What would 2 be? In this case, since we got the tie to that first 8th note, 2 would actually be small because we won't say 2. And then we got a big and, a big 3, a big 4. So look, we got 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4. Notice I didn't say 2. Listen again. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4. Alright, and look at the last measure, okay? Oops, there's supposed to be a tie right here. I didn't put the tie, okay? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Alright, we're going to do the same thing. We got 1, 2, big 3, little 4, because since it's that 4, since the downbeat of 4 is tied to beat 3, it would be a little 4, and then a big and. So look. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and. Alright, we wouldn't say 4 right here because it is tied. So look, we'll do the whole line. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, that means I tapped 2. I'm sorry. Let me start that over. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, and. Alright, you understanding a little bit? Okay. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to do this all in one video. So go find part 2. Part 2, we will start on chart 9, okay? Part 2, go find part 2, and we will start on chart 9, alright? Yes.